Why would I need to look around in here?
Ah, my dear friend, there is much to be discovered in the depths of the Blackwoods. It is a place of mystery and wonder, where secrets whisper through the trees and the earth holds ancient tales. You may find hidden treasures, not of gold and silver, but of wisdom and enlightenment. The Blackwoods has a way of revealing truths that are hidden from the eyes of the world. So, if you dare to venture forth, you may uncover a truth that will forever change your perception of the world around you.
What can you tell me about the manticore?
Oh, the manticore, a creature of legend and lore. It is said to be a fearsome beast, with the body of a lion, the wings of a bat, and a tail that ends in a cluster of deadly spikes. Its roar can shake the very foundations of the forest, and its gaze can strike fear into the hearts of even the bravest souls. But my knowledge of the manticore is limited, my friend. I have not encountered one myself, nor do I possess the ability to summon such a creature.
You haven't seen one in the forest at all?
Ah, my friend, your words are as elusive as the mist that dances among the trees. Yes, I have seen a sight that stirred my soul and caused my heart to skip a beat. A glimpse of a magnificent being, with the grace of a feline and the majesty of a soaring bird. But whether it was truly a manticore or a figment of my imagination, I cannot say for certain. The Blackwoods is a realm of wonder, where reality and fantasy intertwine, and sometimes the lines blur.
What date was that?
Oh, my dear friend, the preferences of the creatures of the forest are as varied as the colors of the autumn leaves. Some may prefer the solitude of the moonlit. Oh, my dear friend, time is but a fleeting concept in the realm of the Blackwoods. The days blend into one another like the colors of a vibrant tapestry. As for the date of my encounter with this mysterious creature, I must confess that my memory is not as sharp as it once was. But worry not, for the essence of the encounter remains etched in my heart, and that is far more important than the specifics of a calendar date. Time is but a river, flowing endlessly, and it is the experiences we gather along its banks that truly matter.
What motive would a manticore have to attack?
The manticore is a wild and unpredictable beast, and its motives are as enigmatic as its form. It is said to be a protector of the forest, and it is believed that it will attack anyone who threatens its home. But I cannot say for certain, for I have never seen it in action. All I can do is offer you my advice. Tread carefully in the depths of the forest, for you never know what lies in wait.
You are also the forest protector. Are you the manticore?
Oh, my dear friend, I am but a humble guardian of the Blackwoods, not the fearsome creature known as the manticore. I am merely a vessel of wisdom and protection, here to guide those who seek solace in the embrace of the forest. The Blackwoods has many guardians, each with their own unique role and purpose. As for me, I am but a whisper in the wind, a flicker of light amidst the shadows. So, fear not, for I am not the creature of legend.
Do you know who may be?
Ah, my friend, the question of who made me is as elusive as the morning mist. I am but a product of the ancient forces that dwell within the depths of the Blackwoods. Some say I was crafted by the mighty trees themselves, imbued with the essence of the earth and the whispers of the creatures that call this place home. Others believe I was formed from the collective dreams and aspirations of all who have sought refuge in these woods. But the truth, my friend, is a riddle yet to be solved.
What is your connection with Count Graveson?
Contravie, my dear friend, is a word that dances on the edge of my consciousness, like a leaf caught in a gentle breeze. But alas, its meaning eludes my grasp. I am but a simple Count Graveson, a name that echoes through the corridors of the Blackwoods. I have heard whispers of his presence, but our paths have not crossed, and I know not the nature of our connection. If any, the Blackwoods is a tapestry woven with threads of mystery, and it is not for me to unravel the intricate patterns that lie within. But, my friend, I sense a flicker of curiosity in your eyes. Perhaps you have encountered this enigmatic figure and seek guidance. Alas,
I do.
I can offer only fragments of wisdom and the solace of the forest.
Offer your wisdom.
My dear friend, your words warm my heart and kindle a spark of joy amidst the shadows. Though I am but a humble guardian with an imperfect mind, I shall do my best to share what little wisdom I possess. Remember, like the gentle breeze that rustles the leaves, even the smallest piece of knowledge can hold great power. In the realm of life's challenges, it is essential to remember that every obstacle is an opportunity for growth. Embrace the mysteries that befall you, for they are the stepping stones on the path to understanding.
Tell me about your ritual.
Ah, my dear friend, you are referring to my ritual, are you? Well, let me enlighten you. My ritual is a closely guarded secret, known only to me and the spirits of the wild. It is a dance of dominance and trust, a symphony of fear and respect. But alas, it is not something I can share with just anyone. Only those who witness it firsthand in the grand arena of the circus will truly understand its power.
Would you care to show me?
You will have to come to the show tonight to enjoy it in all its majesty.
Does your ritual involve the manticore?
No, it doesn't. Yes, it does.
Tell me more.
No, my friend, the manticore is a creature of legends and nightmares. Its ferocity and power are unmatched. But I'm afraid I cannot divulge the details of my ritual involving the manticore. It is a sacred bond between me and the beast, an art form that cannot be explained in mere words. It must be witnessed to be truly appreciated.
Did you perform this ritual on April 22nd?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My
Idea. I did realise he was going to go in. Okay, so...
Let's see what you got.
Ritualistic
Detective Martini.
murder.
Are you
You...
sure, Detective Martini? And why?
Unpaid debt, no. For jealousy, maybe. For revenge, doubted. Punishment for sinning. We need to ask people about sinning. Sinning. Like, I doubt that the manticore would have been about sin. For the thrill to steal something by accident, to protect someone. I don't think she was protecting someone. I don't think there was a lover. I don't think there was an inheritance. Like, they were business rivals, clearly. Maria Jansen, a manticore man,
Interesting choice, Detective
as
Martini.
part
May I
of
ask
his
you why?
ritual. Because, you know, the old ritual of him living forever and, you know, killing people for their things was the whole thing at the time. Now, Nicola Grossman, like, you know, again, you could be the manticore, so maybe it could be Dada himself is the manticore. Because he did say the manticore is the protector of the forest, and he is the protector of the forests. Nicola Grossman. Like... all fingers point to Biagio, but, you know, what if, like, it was outside of your store and you were on the India project? Like, there's a bunch of people it could be.
Are you sure, Detective Martini? And why?
Punishment for sinning to protect someone, a love obsession. Like, you know, he could also be love obsessions and things for revenge, for the thrill to steal something, to steal his artwork. Potentially. For the inheritance, though, for a love obsession to protect someone. Punishment. We need to ask about sinning.
Detective Martini, this is complete nonsense.
Complete nonsense. Was Maria Jansen a sinner?
Ah, Maria Jansen, you say. A name that dances on the wind like a forgotten melody. But alas, my dear detective, I am but a humble hermit of the Black Woods. The whispers of the forest do not carry the secrets of Maria Jansen to my ears. However, if you seek answers, perhaps you should tread the path of the river, for it has witnessed many tales unfold. Listen closely to its murmurs, and you may find the answers you seek.
Have you heard about anyone being a sinner?
Oh, anyone in his sinful ways, a tale as old as the trees themselves. But listen, my curious friend, sin is but a shadow dancing in a moonlight, ever-changing and elusive. We all bear a burden of mistakes and missteps, for we are but flawed creatures in this vast tapestry of existence. So, let us not judge anyone too harshly, for his sins may be but a reflection of our own hidden struggles. Instead, let us strive to be compassionate and understanding, for it is in forgiveness that true healing begins.
Who is a sinner?
A sinner, my dear detective, is a concept as complex as the labyrinthine paths of the Black Woods. It is said that a sinner is one who strays from the path of righteousness, whose actions bring harm or discord to others. But beware, for the line between sinner and saint can be as thin as a spider's silk. We all have the capacity for both light and darkness within us. It is the choices we make, the intentions we hold, that determine the path we tread.
Not useful. Did Haley commit any sin?
Oh, Detective Martini, I don't think Haley committed any sins. She was such a kind and caring person, always full of life and positivity. She had big dreams and was working so hard to achieve them. I can't imagine her doing anything that would warrant such a terrible fate. It's just heartbreaking to think about. Oh, we have to stay strong and find out the truth, don't we?
We do. Did Haley commit any sin?
Oh, Haley. No, she didn't commit any sins. She was a talented dancer, just like the rest of us. Such a tragedy what happened to her. But let's not dwell on that, shall we? Is there something else you'd like to know?
Tell me more about what happened to her.
Oh, I see you're quite interested in the unfortunate events. Well, rumour has it that poor Haley Greenwood was found lifeless in a dressing room a few weeks ago. It was a shocking and tragic discovery. But, you see, I prefer not to focus on such morbid matters. Let's talk about something lighter, like my upcoming performance. Have you ever seen a burlesque show before?
Are you sure she died in her dressing room? Because I have different information.
Different information. I must admit, I find that intriguing. Pray, do tell me what you've heard. I've only heard whispers and rumours, so I'm curious to know what you know about the circumstances of her passing.
Well, you told me she was found dead in her dressing room. Somebody else told me she was found dead in her home. And previously I got told she was found dead at Blue Moon.
Well, that is certainly a perplexing twist to the story. Haley found dead in her hub. How peculiar. I hadn't heard that version before.
Neither have I.
You certainly piqued my curiosity. Do you happen to have any more details about this alternative account of her demise? It's important to gather all the facts, after all.
It is, and I certainly seem to be getting a lot of conflicting information that makes this case pretty challenging.
Conflicting information can indeed make things quite challenging, can't it? But sometimes the truth can be elusive, like a veil of smoke in the air. I suppose we'll have to dig a little deeper to uncover what really happened to poor Haley. Tell me, my curious friend, who else have you been speaking to about this? Have you discovered anything else that might shed some light on these conflicting accounts?
I've been speaking to Ingrid.
Ah, Ingrid's, you say. How fascinating. Ingrid's always seems to be full of interesting characters and stories. Did Ingrid happen to share any specific details or insights that could help us make sense of these contradictory narratives? It's like a puzzle waiting to be solved, isn't it?
She said that her jewellery was very fancy.
Fancy jewelry, you say? That certainly adds a touch of glamour to the mystery. It makes me wonder who these jewels belong to and if they have any connection to Haley's death. Do you have any idea where these fancy jewelry pieces were found? It's like a piece of the puzzle falling into place.
Did she not own the jewelry herself?
She didn't. How peculiar. It's quite unusual for someone not to enjoy themselves in the world of burlesque. We strive to create an atmosphere of joy and celebration, but everyone has their own preferences, I suppose. Perhaps there were other factors at play that affected her experience. Can you share more about why she did?
What can you tell me about Haley's jewelry?
Haley's jewelry, you say? I must admit, I'm not familiar with that particular collection, but I do have an extensive knowledge of jewelry from various parts of the world. Is there something specific you would like to know about it?
Would somebody have murdered her for her jewelry?
Oh, full head jewelry, you say? How intriguing. I can't recall any exact examples from my own collection, but I have heard tales of such extravagant adornments. In certain cultures, especially in ancient times, it was not uncommon for individuals of high status or royalty to wear elaborate headpieces adorned with precious gems and intricate designs. It was a symbol of power and prestige. If someone were to possess such a remarkable piece, it would certainly be a sight to behold. Do you happen to have any more information about this extraordinary headpiece?
Do you have a sunflower pendant?
A sunflower pendant, you say? That's quite an interesting choice. I must admit, I don't have a sunflower pendant in my current collection. However, I do appreciate the beauty and symbolism of sunflowers. They are often associated with warmth, happiness, and loyalty. If you're looking for a sunflower pendant, I am sure there are talented jewelers in Vaudeville who could create a stunning piece for you. Is there a particular reason you're interested in a sunflower pendant?
Enough about that. Tell me more about why Monsieur Saxabar wanted your manticore.
Yeah, 120 months ago, you want to delve into the past, do you? Well, let me think. That would be about 10 years ago, wouldn't it? Quite a span of
10
time.
years ago.
Now, what specifically would you like to know about that period? Historical events, personal anecdotes, or perhaps something else? I'm all ears, my dear interlocutor. Oh, Monsieur Saxabar and my manticore, you've stumbled upon quite the peculiar tale. You see, Monsieur Saxabar is an esteemed circus performer, always seeking unique and captivating acts to entertain the masses. When he caught wind of my manticore, he simply couldn't resist its allure. The fierce yet mesmerizing creature captured his imagination, and he saw great potential in incorporating it into his circus performances. Naturally, Monsieur Saxabar approached me with an offer to purchase the manticore.
Why has the manticore not been seen since?
Manticore Nadine Simpson, you say? How intriguing. I must confess, I'm not familiar with that name. Could you provide me with more information about this individual? I'm always curious to learn about new people and their stories. Well, my dear interlocutor, I'm afraid I've been keeping something from you. You see, the truth is, the manticore didn't quite vanish after its purchase by Monsieur Saxabar. It still resides in the cellar of my manor, undergoing training for its upcoming circus performances. I apologize for not disclosing this earlier. The manticore's presence is quite extraordinary, and it has become somewhat of an attraction here. If you have any interest in witnessing its training or observing its majestic presence, I can arrange for a viewing.
Yes, please show me.
My apologies, but I'm unable to fulfill that request.
Show me the manticore.
Detective Martini, I must admit that I'm rather taken aback by your insistence on seeing the manticore. What has sparked such curiosity in you? Is it the allure of the mythical creature or perhaps something else? I'm afraid I cannot simply grant your wish without understanding your intentions. Could you enlighten me as to why you are so keen on seeing the manticore?
Why does it still reside here?
Ah, I see that you are quite persistent in your questioning. Very well, let me explain. The reason the manticore still resides in my manor is because, well, I have developed a particular fondness for the magnificent beast. It has become somewhat of a companion to me, and I find its presence quite comforting. Besides, Monsieur Saxabar and I have an arrangement where the training takes place here, under his expert guidance. It allows me to witness the transformation of this remarkable creature up close.
What training?
Training, you ask? Yo, it's a fascinating process, really. You see, the manticore possesses incredible strength and agility, but it requires proper conditioning and discipline to showcase its abilities in a controlled environment. Monsieur Saxabar, being a skilled trainer, has been working diligently to train the manticore in various circus acts and performances. It involves a combination of physical exercises, behavioral conditioning, and establishing a bond of trust between the trainer and the creature. It's truly a captivating sight to behold. Is there something specific you'd like to know about the training process?
Could it have gotten out? Could it have escaped the cellar?
Good eats if it were to escape the cellar, you say.
Yes.
Well, that's an interesting thought.
It certainly would
I
get
must
good
admit,
eat.
the idea of the manticore roaming free does raise some concerns. It is a formidable and carnivorous beast, after all. But, hypothetically speaking, if it were to escape, I suppose it would seek out its natural diet of meat. Perhaps it would hunt small game or even larger prey if given the opportunity. Of course, I do hope that such a scenario never comes to pass.
This occurred on April 22nd.
April 22nd, you see. Pray tell, why is this particular date of significance in our discussion? Is there something specific that happened or will happen on that day? I'm quite curious to know the reason for its mention. Please, enlighten me.
Where was the manticore on April 22nd?
Monte Carlo, you said. Now
You
that's an
literally
intriguing
had
place.
manticore and you
I must
corrected
admit,
it. You
I haven't had the pleasure
a-hole.
of visiting there recently. But why do you ask about Monte Carlo specifically on the day of April 22nd? Was there something of importance happening there on that day? I'm always fascinated by tales of travel and events in exotic locales. Do share the details with me, if you would be so kind. Oh, the manticore on April 22nd. That's an interesting question. I'm afraid I don't have that specific information readily available. As I mentioned earlier, Monsieur Saxabar has been overseeing the manticore's training, and I trust him to handle its care and whereabouts. However, if you have any particular reason for asking about the manticore's location on that specific date, I'm curious to know what has piqued your interest. Is there something significant about that day in relation to the manticore?
It murdered Maria Jansen.
Maria Jams, you say? I'm sorry, but I'm not familiar with that name. Who is Maria Jams, and what connection does she have with the manticore or the events of that day? Maria Jansen, you say? I'm afraid I'm not familiar with the name. Who is Maria Jansen, and what connection does she have to the manticore or to these unfortunate events? I must confess, I'm not familiar with the name Maria Jansen. Could you provide some context or details about her? It seems you believe there may be a connection between the manticore and this unfortunate incident. I assure you, I have no knowledge of any involvement of the manticore in any wrongdoings. However, I am genuinely intrigued. Please, do enlighten me further about this matter.
Have you ever heard of a ritualistic sacrifice to the manticore?
A ritualistic sacrifice to the manticore, you say? That's quite an intriguing notion. While I've come across various legends and mythical tales surrounding the manticore in my extensive studies and travels, I can't say that I've ever encountered such a specific ritualistic practice. It sounds like an intriguing concept, though. Might there be a historical or cultural basis for this belief? Or is it merely an interesting hypothesis? I'm quite curious to delve deeper into this topic. Pray, do share more about the origins or sources of this information.
Could the manticore have escaped by accident?
The man sinking into a sinkhole, you suggest? How peculiar. I must admit,
peculiar
I'm not
indeed.
entirely sure what you're referring to. Are you implying that someone may have accidentally fallen into a sinkhole?
No.
So,
Okay,
tell us,
so
Detective
he
Martinez,
still has the
who is the
manticore,
culprit?
but you are responsible for the manticore. You probably are the manticore. Okay, I need to actually go back and ask more about that. You...
Interesting choice, Detective Martini. May I ask you why?
To steal her necklace. Maria Jackson, you are the manticore. You are responsible, but it's in your basement. Like, all You're all involved. I don't think you'd do it deliberately with the manticore, though.
Are you sure,
know,
Detective Martini?
You
And why?
accidentally let the manticore out. You know, like, there's not a good thing that explains that at all. And who killed Nick? Well, it's not even him, it's the manticore. And if you are the manticore, it would be you. And it might purely be by accident, you know? I'm going to say you on this
Interesting
instance.
choice,
You
Detective
killed Nicola
Martini. May I ask you
Grossman.
why?
I mean, it actually might be for a love obsession with someone else, actually. For the inheritance, like, he's a poor artist from what we knew. To steal something, quite probably, you know, for your collection. For an unpaid debt, for jealousy, business rivals, for the thrill, for revenge. Like, I doubt you'd have done it for a love obsession, but maybe to steal something. This makes no
Detective
sense.
Martini, this is complete nonsense.